Yo, 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 good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Boogie, please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. Yes, sir. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right, so I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I'm your homie HerbMan. What we do here on the HerbMan Show is teach you how to heal yourself. But you can't heal yourself if you don't know thyself. So we're going to teach you about the human frame and the human design so that you guys can be well on your way. Please hold all calls until after the show. We're going to teach you how to be well on your way to the happiness and the wholeness and the wellness that you and I both deserve. Okay, this is a free information station. You guys don't have to pay for nothing that you hear here today. All you simply got to do is pay attention. Okay, and how you do that is by double tapping that screen, interactive, getting us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. I promise you, I'm gonna work for those likes. You do your part. You share. You tap. You follow. You subscribe, and make sure that everybody that you are dealing with can hear. Look, learn together, you guys. Somebody put in the chat, learn together. Okay, learn together. Learn with your children this information. Learn with your spouse this information. Learn with your family this information. Somebody put in the chat, let's learn together. We heal faster together than any other way. Okay, it doesn't mean you can't heal by yourself, but we heal faster together, and we need to start learning this stuff together. Okay, so when you hear me talking about the owner's manual, that's what you need to get for your whole family. You need a blueprint on your children. You need a blueprint on your spouse. You need a blueprint on yourself. You need a blueprint on your family members. You need a blueprint. You need the owner's manual. Okay, you need the owner's manual. We learn together. If we learn together, then we are raising our consciousness together. That way, now you don't have to date in hellacious consciousness. You don't have to look for this and that in that hellacious mindset, because who you want to be with is learning with you how to raise that consciousness. Okay, just like going to church together. You get on these lives, you want to learn this stuff together with your spouse, so you ain't the only one trying to do something different while everybody else is trying to do the same thing. And that's what is breeding this uncertainty in our particular paradigm. See, uncertainty is the problem that no one really wants to talk about. Uncertainty. Somebody put in the chat uncertainty. Uncertainty is the thing that nobody really want to talk about. It is the fundamental underbelly of why we cheat, lie, steal, and everything else, because you have this uncertainty. And everybody talk about peace. Everybody want a little bit of clarity. Everybody wants some success and some love and some stability. But underneath all of that, underneath that mat, all that dust, underneath that mat, that underneath that rug of life, there's one thing that humans are constantly trying to avoid. And it's uncertainty. Uncertainty in your health, uncertainty in your wealth, uncertainty in your family dynamic. Uncertainty. I'm gonna write it up here. You guys keep tapping. I'm gonna keep talking. Let everybody get into the building. Okay. This is that thing that's laying up under that mattress that everybody is trying to circumvent. It ain't got nothing. It ain't about pain. Yeah, you might got pain, but it's uncertainty. It ain't about failure. Yeah, you may experience failure, but it's about uncertainty. It ain't about knowing, because the thing about it is when you don't know, that's the whole thing about it. When you don't know, I don't know if this the right decision, the right person, the right medication, the right treatment. I don't know if this the right situation for me. Not knowing is the problem. And what if I told you that most humans and most human behavior is not really even driven by desire, but it's driven by your ability to reduce uncertainty? You got so much going on in your life, but it's making you uncertain. This female is making me uncertain. This man is making me uncertain. This situation this job is making me I go here, they fussing, co-worker, the supervisor. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I really want to be here. I don't know what to do. And now things just get uncertain. The doctor want to tell me I need to do this. I really don't want to take the medication. I really don't want to do chemo. I really don't want to do dialysis. It's just, I hate not knowing. Somebody put in the chat, if you really feel this. Don't you hate not knowing? Say, I hate not knowing. Put it in the chat, please. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. I ain't going to play with you today now. I'm not going to play with you today. I won't play with you nowadays, but it ain't going to be today either. I hate not knowing. Write it in the chat. I hate not knowing. So you gotta say it. You gotta say it out loud. I hate not knowing. I hate not knowing where my life, where my health, where my situation is gonna end up. We was talking to a young lady yesterday, and I allowed her to understand that she was 58 years old. But if you go by 75 years, then yeah, hold all calls, please, you guys, until the end of the I am real. That number is real. Okay? I take calls between 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? Talking to a young lady yesterday, and 58 years old. And if she go by 75, the little age range they give her for 75, she felt like that's 80% of my life. But when I exposed her to the 120 years, she only lived half of her life. So while she was thinking that I ain't got time for this and that and third, I'm 58, it illuminated her in a total different way. The brain is a prediction machine. And your brain is not necessarily designed to always react. It's designed to predict. Somebody put predict in the chat. Your brain is a predictive machine, not a reactive machine. That's why we teach you about the human frame and the human design, so you can know how God made you, how nature manufactured you. Some of y'all just ain't push all the buttons in your spacesuit. Okay? The brain is not designed to react, but to predict. And every second, your brain is asking you, what is about to happen? What should I expect? What patterns am I in? Why? Why, what, when, where, how? These are the questions the brain asks. Because prediction is going to do what? Save you energy. So when we're teaching you about the owner's manual, we're teaching you about the blueprint, or we're offering the school for you guys to learn this. It's about learning your real design so that you can start getting back regulated with what nature is presenting to your life. Prediction saves you energy. Somebody put that in the chat. Prediction saves me energy. Reaction is going to exude my energy. It's going to take away my energy. So if you're able to predict, then guess what? You're able to save the energy of that wrong decision. If the brain can predict, you guys, the brain will relax better. Come on, somebody. If the brain can predict, then it gets more regulated. If the brain can predict, then it gets more automated. If the brain can predict, then guess what? You conserve your resources. But if it's reactive and you just out here I don't know what God gonna do. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know and you in reactive mode, then guess what? It's going to increase the vigilance, the stimulation. It's going to increase the scanning. It's going to increase the stress. Tyrant Studio, the opposite of your mama is your daddy. When you come on here, you can't tell me what it is. The opposite of reactive and what I'm talking about is predictive. Be a student or you be a teacher on your own platform. You came to the wrong place to put in a chat, put in anything on my feed. Okay? You came to the wrong place. All right, then listen, let me teach you. Okay. The opposite of what I'm talking about, being reactive, is predictive. And if you really know something, Towering Studios, then you'll know predictive is proactive. But can I use my words? And not something that you done read from somebody else's spirit. Can I use my spirit to give you this new thing? Predictive is proactive, my brother or sister, whoever you is. Right. You got to understand that predictive is proactive. I'm talking to you. You personally. If you're predictive, aren't you proactive? Anybody else out here, talk to me. If you're predictive, are you proactive so that we can let Tyrant Studios know what he's listening to? Okay. So uncertainty is going to increase the cognitive load. Okay. Yeah, we ain't always got to use what these folks been teaching you. We can use our own words. It means the same thing. Uncertainty is going to increase your cognitive load. Now, remember what I told you. We're just trying to get wealthy to buy back your cognitive freedom. You just want enough money to buy back your cognitive freedom. But when you got uncertainty, it increases the cognitive load. When you don't know what's going to happen, does your mind relax or does it speed up? Let me ask y'all. When you don't know what's going to happen, does your mind relax or does it cause more stress on the brain? I'm asking y'all. I'm talking to y'all right now. If you don't know what's going to happen, does your mind relax or does it add more stress? Y'all let me know. I'm talking to y'all. It speed up, right? It adds more stress, right? There you go. Is it the same as faith? No, this is not the same as faith. Because ain't no way, a lot of you guys say you got faith, but that remains to be seen. You know, even the Bible say that you give a lot of lip service, right? Forever learning, but yet coming to the acknowledgement of. That's not faith. Okay. When you are uncertain, you can't relax. And then uncertainty starts to feel like a threat to your life. And now the nervous system doesn't know how to separate the moment. It doesn't know how to separate the physical danger from the psychological danger. And so both activate the same pathways, basically. And then now you got this uncertainty acting like a trigger. It triggers your anxiety. It triggers your overthinking. Now you can't sleep. It triggers your planning loops. It triggers all of these things, how you control your behavior. All this stuff get triggered. Okay? So when you're looking at the biological response from uncertainty, we already know now the cortisol increases. When cortisol increases, my heart rate increases, my immune system suppresses. Now uncertainty now my attention starts to narrow. Now you're more microscopic instead of macro. Now my body is tense and started to prepare for action rather than being able to relax. And this uncertainty also breeds no clear action. You don't really know what to do. Do I do the medications that the doctor talking about? Do I do the treatments? Do I go to school again? Do I go out here and date again? I don't know what to do. And your system gets stuck in activation mode without a clear pathway, without a clear resolution. Oh yeah, that means you stuck. And a lot of us, have you ever seen a lot of people that's a control freaks? They're trying to control every part, control every narrative, because control is the response to uncertainty. And I'm going to tell you, people don't really love control, but they do love predictability. And control sometimes is the strategy that we create to be predictable. So if you find yourself over planning, if you find yourself rigid, having rigid routines, if you find yourself being somewhat of a perfectionist, if you find yourself in these anxiety loops, if you find yourself having an attachment to some type of identity, if you find yourself always needing answers immediately, then that's the way you're trying to control your uncertainty. Ageless Frank said, how do we be certain? Your blueprint, your owner's manual. Duh. Your owner's manual. This right here, following the path of the sun, understanding what this life is positioning in your way. These are 12 life lessons. You don't know your life lesson you in, you'll be trying to do a whole nother lesson when you're supposed to be focused on this one. So you have this dynamic. Let me say this, you guys. You have this, so free will, if you want to know my definition of free will, nature is giving you one thing, all right? You got nature's lesson. And then you want something else outside of what nature trying to teach you. So then you have the human desire. Okay? These are your two choices. This is what is under the free will. So you got free will to choose between nature's lessons or your human desire. Those are the only two choices you got, but you got free will to choose either one of them. Either you're going to get in tune with nature and choose nature's lesson for you, or you're going to get out of the will of nature and choose your will for yourself, your desires for yourself. Now, a lot of times what's happening is that we'll keep choosing this one, negating this one. You see? You keep choosing this one, negating this one. But this one right here is under your rhythm, but that don't mean that it's in the rhythm of nature. So you get out of rhythm for your own desire. You get out of harmony. You get out of the cyclical understanding of nature, and then you're still able to do your thing, but you're wondering why it doesn't work or why it's working too slow. Okay? And when you're in your life and you're trying to control something, it's because you just don't trust what will happen if you don't. Y'all heard that? In this life, when you're trying to control something, it's because you just don't trust what will happen to you if you don't control. I always talk about this. This is a roller coaster ride, right? So we're going to put this little roller coaster up here. You know, I'm going to put my little car up here. You know what I'm saying? We off in the roller coaster. And then what you got to be able to do here is you got to be able to ride with your hands up. But a lot of us is going to hold this little bar down here. Trying to absorb and control the shaking and the movement of life. This hands up is a primary indicator that I'm okay. I can trust what's going to happen. Let me move out of the way so you guys can see this. This is the roller coaster ride of life. It's a very exciting life if you let nature do it. But what you do is you get into this paradigm, and instead of you being on the roller coaster like this, how many people ride the roller coaster like this? Yeah, you scared. You're gonna ride the bar. You're gonna hold the bar. Ain't that tension? Ain't that stress? Trying to hold your neck. Some of y'all done fell out in the thing. Wait back up and fall out again in the roller coaster. Wait back up. You still on the roller coaster. But to raise your hands up is to be able to understand that you're going to be okay. Because nature provides its own certainty. Your desires is the one that's providing the uncertainty. And it's because of your belief systems. Because the belief systems is the structure of certainty. Belief systems exist to reduce uncertainty. They're going to answer the who am I, the why am I here, the what is true, what matters to me, what happens next. It's all going to be based on your belief system. And remember that I told you belief system is the umbrella for your government, for your education systems, healthcare systems, financial systems, whatever it is, it's under belief systems, your religious systems, all of that. Okay? Religion gives you the meaning of life. Economics give you the value. Culture gives you the behavior. Identity gives you the self-definition. Humans don't just want truth. They want certainty. Even if the certainty is incomplete, they'll rather have half than none at all. So the owner's manual and the blueprint is bringing in this certainty back into your paradigm so that you can understand that it's capable. You can obtain certainty, but not in your human desires, in nature's lesson. And today, modern life is increasing our uncertainty. Modern environments are amplifying uncertainty with all this rapid change in our environment, this information overload, this conflicting narratives that we hear every day, unstable systems that we have indulged ourselves in, these social comparisons that we're having. Okay? And the brain just cannot stabilize that type of overload. Your brain can't keep up. So guess what it does? Like every other system in your body becomes compensatory. That means your brain starts to compensate. So it starts to do more thinking because it thinks that's what you need. It starts to do more scrolling because it thinks that's what you're trying to do. It tries to do more stimulation because it thinks that that's what's necessary. It tries to do more control attempts because it thinks that that's what you're looking for. And the paradox, you guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. Let's go ahead and get us up to 100K. The paradox in this is that the more information you have, the less certain you feel. Have you ever been in the grocery store? I always say, you gave me so many choices to choose from. I don't know which one to choose. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Lupe. Yo, ever felt that before? I got so many choices to choose from. I don't know which one to choose. You ever felt that before? A person who got you so attractive, you got so many men coming your way, you don't know which one to choose from. You got so many men coming your way, you don't know which one to choose from. You got so many choices. I know back in the day, we'd be like, man, I know how to do this, I know how to do that, I know how to do this, I know how to do that. You got so many different things you're good at, but you don't have one thing you're great at. So many choices to choose from, you don't know which one to choose. And the cost of this constant uncertainty is chronic stress. It's mental fatigue. And you guys can put ones in the chat if you're feeling some of this. Chronic stress, mental fatigue, decision exhaustion. That's me. I'm definitely on that one. Decision exhaustion. Sometimes I don't even want to make no decision no more because I'm tired of you think this is the right thing and then it turns out wrong. How many people have been through life like that? You thought this was the right decision and it turned out to be wrong. Right? Decision exhaustion, anxiety, inability to relax. I can't even relax. I got so much on my plate, so much I'm trying to do, so much I got to do, so much I'm trying to get, and I can't relax. And that's going to lead to burnout. And the reason why is because your brain never really gets to relax. The mind never gets to rest. Your brain never gets to feel like they understand what's happening. My brain needs to say to me, I understand what's happening. So I ain't even got to be all up in the flow. I can chill. I can chill, right? I can chill, right? And then we're looking at the paradox of growth. A lot of us want to grow. But here's the deeper truth about growth. Every human says they want growth, they want freedom, they want creativity, they want expansion in their life. But guess what it requires? Anybody know? Everybody's watching me want to grow your health, you want to grow your finances, you want to grow your family dynamic. Everybody that's watching me want to learn how to grow. I know that. But what does growth require? Somebody said change. Somebody said love, pain, lessons. Somebody said what? Trust me. What else you got? Because none of that is the correct answer. Let go. Patience. No. Y'all getting there. There's some good answers, but it's not the right answer. Freedom. No, I said everybody wants growth. Everybody wants freedom. Everybody wants creativity. Everybody wants to expand. But what does those things take? Regulation, surrender, consistency. Thank you, Writer's Perspective. Y'all go follow Writer's Perspective. Okay? Certainty. Okay? But see, you see what I'm saying? The only thing about this is that it requires uncertainty. When you want these things, it requires you to be uncertain because you're not certain that you're going to grow. You're not certain that you're going to get the freedom. You're not certain that you're going to be able to have that creativity, and you're not certain about the expansion. The paradox of growth is that all of you guys want this, but for some reason, it is requiring you to be uncertain. Okay? It is requiring you to be uncertain. And certainty equals stability. The owner's manual is trying to fulfill that gap and get you guys some certainty. It's also trying to get you to visually see the difference between your human desires and nature's lesson so that you can make a better, more informed decision. The owner's manual, your blueprint, is giving you a visualization so that you can see what your decisions is outside the wheel versus if you can succumb to what the lesson is nature's trying to teach you. That don't mean you're going to do it, but it's at least a visual. And when you get certainty, you get regulation, you get stability. You get the capacity to deal with the life lesson. If you get uncertainty, you get possibility. So who wants stability and who wants possibility? Uncertainty is going to give you possibility. It's possible, but certainty is going to give you some stability. Which one you want? Choose ye this day. You want possibility or you want stability? Okay. Now I'm going to ask y'all something very deep. And I want y'all to answer this for me. Thank you guys for tapping. Thank all 100 or so people for joining the live. Please follow, share, like, do what you got to do to be here, man. We come on every day between 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm always going to be busting you guys upside the head with this hot banger boogie. Let me ask all 130 of you guys watching. Would you rather, and this is a very deep question, would you rather have a completely predictable life, and I know that may sound boring to you, or a meaningful one? Come on. Would you rather have a completely predictable life or a meaningful one? There's no wrong or right answer. I just need to know yours. What y'all saying to him? Meaningful? Meaningful? What else we got? Meaningful? Who else we got? Come on. Who else we got? I want to have a meaningful life. Okay, come on with it. Completing predictability. Somebody said I want to have a complete predictable life. Okay, there's no wrong answer. I just wanted to know your answer. Meaningful is too uncertain. constant challenges. Okay, flip side, I get you. I got you. Andrea said meaningful. Okay. Not a lot of you guys are choosing a completely predictable life. All right. Now, understanding your answers is also understanding how to learn how to tolerate uncertainty, because you can't eliminate it all the way. See, this roller coaster ride, you can't eliminate this all the way. It's going to be fun, it's going to be exciting, but it's going to be uncertain, because you cannot eliminate uncertainty all the way. So we ain't even going to try to eliminate uncertainty. What we want to do is increase our capacity to sit inside uncertainty with a sense of peace, gratitude, and awe. So when I'm sitting in this roller coaster, I know this ride is unpredictable, but I've increased my capacity to tolerate it. And this happens because when I got in it, my nervous system is so regulated, I can put my hands up while it do its thing. I can reduce my urgency and my anxiety. I can slow down my brain to thinking, oh my God, this ride is so crazy. And then I can get into a slower thinking pattern. I can embody the awareness and be like, oh, you gotta love this thing. I can depend less on immediate answers. I can shift into the enjoyment of the roller coaster ride. And instead of me asking what's going to happen on this ride, I can stay present without needing to know. Ooh, yes, sir. I can stay present without needing to know. Thank you, Lupe. You understand what we're saying? So I'm not telling you that you're suffering because life is uncertain. Because life has always been uncertain. This is a roller coaster ride. But we suffer because of what? You just was never taught how to exist in this paradigm without knowing. That's why everybody want to know. It's okay to not know. I'm going to be just as chill when I don't know versus if I got to know. See, a lot of people don't, well, you know I'm the one for you. You know that this is the thing you need to do. But I'm all right. Whatever, even if I don't know, I'm still good. I'm cool. You see what I'm saying? I'm cool. I'm all right. And that's a thing you can't take. But the goal is not to control. So this is not a control mechanism. The owner's manual is not getting you to take back control. The owner's manual is getting you to release the handles and ride the life the way nature intended. The goal is not to try to get some kind of perfect prediction. The goal is opening you up so you'll have the capacity to understand what you're going through and why you're going through it. The capacity to move without guarantees, to act without certainty, to exist without constant answers. That's nature. You think the plant know what they're going to do? You think the ant knows its day? You think the squirrel knows its day? You think the hawk or the eagle knows its day? You think the roach know how his day going to go? You think the tree knows how their day going to go? The people who can thrive are not the people who can eliminate uncertainty. They're the ones who no longer are controlled by it. That's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand about this particular paradigm. Your true human nature Yes, to flow. It's to flow. Air flows, water flows. You came from the waters into the air. But when you come from the waters into the air, you forgot how to flow. And now that you're in this paradigm and in this existence, your control mechanisms become your coping mechanisms. Your control mechanisms become your coping mechanisms. And so you're going to try to drink to control your situation. You're going to try to smoke to control the situation. You're going to try to eat to control the situation. You're going to try to work to control the situation. You're going to take medications to control the situation. You're going to do meditations to try to gain some control. You're going to do church and all this stuff you're trying to control. You can't ride this roller coaster with your hands up. And that's where you're messing up. You guys keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Okay? That's where you messing up at. So you make the choice. Do you want to do nature's will for your life, or you want to do your will for your life? It's all up to you. The owner's manual is just giving you this visual. This is where you started at. This is where you at. This is where you need to get back to. Now, do you want to do it your way or God's way? God is nature. Spirituality is your relationship with nature. Nature has some things in store for you. Yeah, you got things in store for yourself. But how you maneuver is very, very big. Okay? How you maneuver is going to be very detrimental to what you're going to get out of this paradigm. Okay? It's going to be very, very, very important to what you get out of this paradigm. And what we're trying to do is bring that meaning back to the life. Because we continue to evolve all the time. And as our knowledge and as our understanding evolves, then our belief systems are going to evolve. But your need for meaning is going to stay there. It's going to stay constant. But how do we do that? How do we maintain? So now when you're looking at your nervous system, you're looking at your life journey, my question to you is, can you ride this roller coaster with your hands up? Can you let go of the bar? I'm asking you. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. Let's get us up to 100K during the live broadcast, please. Can you let go of the bar? Is uncertainty okay with you? Can you let go of the bar? Can you let go of the bar? I'm asking you. It's going to be difficult. But can you let go of the bar? I know ever found that thing scary, ain't it? It's scary. Let's talk about that scariness. Because that scariness keeps you stimulated. Medicine ain't going to work when you're scared. Herbs ain't going to work when you're scared. You could be eating the proper diet. You can be doing the proper living practices. You could be drinking the best water you think you can drink in your life. But as long as you're doing it under stimulation, under fear, fear is stimulation, the process will be slow. Can you let go of the bar? That's the question. And if I told you that you have a decision to make between nature and nature desires for your life and your desires, you got to trust this thing. See, you've been taught to just trust you. Can you go back home? Can you go back home? You got to trust between nature desires for your life or your own human desires? How many of you can give it up and get it back to nature? How many of you guys can give up your control and put it back into the hands of nature? Ryder's perspective said, yes, I can let go of the ball. That's it. That's it. Living Empowered Now said, I'm ready to relinquish. That's it. That's how you speak over your situations. You got cancer. You holding on to that ball. I just told you that you can't heal stimulated. You got stage 4 kidney disease. You holding on to that ball. I just told you it's going to run you right into dialysis. You ain't there yet. You got an autoimmune disease. You see, I point to the stomach because autoimmunity comes through your digestive system. So you got autoimmune disease. And you holding on to that bar. It's only going to get worse. You can't heal autoimmune disease through stimulation. And these are your incurable diseases that I'm teaching you about. Cancer is supposed to be on the incurable list. Autoimmune disease is supposed to be on the. Did you not know that there's 200 million people dealing with autoimmune diseases? That's more than cancer, high blood pressure, and diabetes put together. If you go and do your research and say how many Americans got high blood pressure, how many people dealing with high blood sugar, how many people dealing with cancer, autoimmune disease trump all three of those. You didn't know that, did you? It's because the cell information is starting to get interrupted and get hijacked by what we would call endocrine disruptors and also your digestive habits. Fear equals stimulation. So when you scared, ain't nothing gonna work. I'm scared of chemo. It ain't gonna work for you. I'm scared of radiation. I just don't. Okay? Don't go in there and get it then. If you that scared, don't go get it under fear. If you that scared, don't pop that pill. If you that scared, don't drink the tea. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Because it ain't gonna do nothing for you. Man, I bought your herbs. I was talking to a brother the other day. He probably on here now. Yeah, you bought the herbs, but you did it under fear. High blood pressure shot through the roof. He had to go back to medication. Took the medications and it came back down. What happened? Did the medications work? Did the herbs didn't work? Or was it emotions? Medications, he wasn't scared of. He relaxed. Somebody he found on TikTok herbs. Oh, shit, I don't know what goddamn this shit he gonna do. And so you're under stimulation trying to take a tea. It ain't gonna work. But that's because it's neither my fault or his fault. It ain't credit to the medication and it ain't discredit to the herbs. It's a person don't know themselves mentally. When he took the medicine, he instantly relaxed. He had more trust in the white coat. He just didn't want to be on them because he he done got research to know, well, I know he might mess up my kidney later, but boy, they sure keep the blood pressure down. But I got this dude on TikTok. He sound good and look good, man. So I bought his little goddamn tea or whatever. And boy, ever since I've been on it, I'm trying to wean myself out of it because I don't know your plan because you're just going on people's website and buying stuff, which is why I tell you to do a consultation. But you just go in there, you take the herbs, do whatever, and you forget about the nervous system and how you think. And what I'm trying to tell you is that very same thing. It don't matter what you do. If you trust something, it will seemingly work faster than if you don't trust it. And what I'm saying to you is you're now having a mediator to control something instead of you controlling it, just understanding how to deal with uncertainty. Okay, so I got these herbs and I'm uncertain, but I'm not going to allow it to overly stimulate me. He told me to regulate no matter what I take. Regulate when I talk to my wife. Regulate when I talk to my kids. Regulate when I go to work, talk to my coworkers. Regulate when I'm dealing with my finances. Regulate before I do anything. I need to regulate. Regulate before I pop the pill. Regulate before I drink the herbs. Regulate before I do anything. Somebody please put this in the chat. Regulate before you do anything. And you'll see that the stuff that you're trying to do, you don't necessarily need it, especially when you're talking about medication, because it's all in regulation. If you regulate before you drink water, water will bring your blood pressure down. Y'all didn't know that? If you regulate it before you drink water, water will bring your blood pressure down. You don't even need nothing. If you regulated before you had these conversations, if you regulated and understood how to be regulated in uncertainty, you wouldn't get anxiety, and then anxiety wouldn't shoot your blood pressure up. If you regulated before you went in Chick-fil-A, you probably wouldn't choose Chick-fil-A. If you regulated before you went to Burger King, you probably wouldn't choose Burger King. But when you are stimulated, I told you this before, when you guys are overly stimulated, it's going to affect your what? Decision making and your reasoning. You're going to talk yourself into something stimulated, so your reasoning going to be off. When you're overly stimulated, there's nothing you can say to not get that, not go by that double, that quarter pound, that double whopper with cheese. You don't have good reasoning because you're stimulated. The job got you stimulated. The life got you stimulated. So you smoke, you drink, you eat what you want to do. There's no reasoning. This is what we're going to teach you in the HerbMan School. And you guys got about 7 more days before the HerbMan School early bird special ends. You can get in right now, get this teaching. It's a year-long course for $100 a month, or you can pay up front $1,000 to go ahead and be over with. After March the 31st, it'll be doubled in price. But we're going to teach you this. We're going to make sure you know how to do this for yourself, for your family, for your community. No one will fail. And my attempt to do is take you guys through Boy Scout and Girl Scout so you can get your healer's badge. But you can't get your healer's badge by messing with other folk. You get your healer's badge by healing yourself. I got mine. You got to be able to put the Band-Aid on your own life. You got to be able to apply these things to yourself. I tell people all the day, when you model your beliefs, maybe somebody else will believe in you. But if you got high blood pressure trying to get somebody to listen to HerbMan and you still got high blood pressure, that ain't a way to promote me. When you over there dealing with high blood sugar and cancer, talking about some HerbMan, though, y'all need to go listen to him. Well, if you still got high blood sugar and cancer, why we gonna go listen to him for? He ain't even helped you. But if you be the model of what you believe in, it's easier for people to believe in you. I got a brother right now in California, healed his own conditions. So it's very easy for him to go out and start helping people in his family. They knew he had this condition, took the HerbMan's herbs, did what he needed to do. He no longer got the condition. So now it's very easy to be able to do that then because they believe in you because you did it and you got rid of your stuff. Okay? So you be the model. Somebody put in chat, I want a model. I want to be a model. You got to model what you believe in. You can't be offering help to folk and you still need help. That just ain't gonna work, man. It ain't never work and it never will work. But this owner's manual, this blueprint is all about you seeing exactly where you are in life and being able to choose between your desires or nature desires for your life. And it's okay, you can choose either one, but you got to suffer the consequences of whatever it is that you choose. You know, it's just the bottom line. But that's on you, that's okay. All right? That's on you. That's okay. And I showed you guys this yesterday, but I'll show you guys this again for you to understand the predictability of this thing. So Jesus is supposed to have been right here in Capricorn. Okay. He did 9 years of Capricorn. Okay. So that's 9. That's going to be from 9 to 19. So when he was 12 years old, he was in Aquarius. Okay. And he was 12 years old, he was in Aquarius. This is 19 to 29. Okay. This is when he got missing. This is the missing years. But Pisces is letting me know that this is when he was what? Pisces, the spiritual sign, right? He was spiritually inept right here. He was going through his spiritual stuff here, right? Then he died here in Aries, okay? And so from 29 to 33 is 4 years. So he did 4 years here. If you guys know how to do my count, then you know that every 3 days is 1 year. So 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, so he did 12 days of Aries. Aries starts on March 21st. So if you do 12 days of March, then that means you're going to come to the death date of about April the 2nd or 3rd. When did they have recorded that Jesus died? Anybody know when they got it recorded? You guys can go Google this right now. When did Jesus die? What date did Jesus die on? Y'all go Google that, then you can come back to me and holler at me. Just put in, when did Jesus die? Yeah, this is your owner's manual. This is what we do for you. I just did it for Jesus. We know he was born on December the 25th. He did 9 years of December, right? So every life lesson is 10 years. He only did 9 years of Capricorn. That means that then from Capricorn to Aquarius, it would have been from 9 to 19. Then from 19 to 29. Then from 29 to 39. But we know he died at 33. What did you get off Google when you Googled when did Jesus, what date did Jesus die? I want to be a model just a little fat right now, but I'm still working on it. Okay, well, don't worry about it. You model your progress. When you get to where you want to be, then you tell people how you did it. But don't do it beforehand because it won't reach as many ears. Okay? It won't reach as many ears, you guys. Right? So if you guys did your Google, then you will see that they say he died on April the 3rd, 33 AD. If you did your research, it will say that he died on April the 3rd, 33 AD. Thank you, Teresa Hoffer. She did the actual Google. So how did I get to that number without knowing that date? Just by doing this. How did I get to that number by doing this and be spot on with what they say they recorded? Okay? So we know the math is right. We know the math is correct, you guys. Okay? And I can do this not only for Jesus, I can do it for you. All we need is a funky birthday. Okay? So my point to you is that this thing starts to show you how people were going through nature. Now, when you look at this from a different perspective, you say, okay, he was born December the 25th and then died right here. All that means is that the sun rose. Okay? The sun rise. Y'all get that? The sun rise. The sun was down here and the sun rose. So how can something die that's rising? Because it was symbolic of the sun's rise. You can start from down here. You remember on this roller coaster ride? Boom, he started here and then he rose. And that's why you finna go to church in a couple weeks talking about he rose on the 3rd day. On the 3rd day, April the 3rd. He rose on the 3rd day. It's talking about the sunrise. Okay? It's not got nothing to do with somebody real. If you see what I just drew you right here, it's the sunrise. That's what Jesus represented, the sunrise. He represented the sun. That birthday to that death date is showing you the sunrise. You see, it came from this winter solstice into the equinox, the sunrise. And on top of that, if you look at the winter solstice here, okay, this is a part of this cross. This is a part of this dynamic. Okay, so he came from the root. And if you understand these chakras right here, what chakra is this? The fourth chakra, what does that represent? He came from the root and rose in love. Put him back on the cross. The equinox is the cross. He rose from the root and landed right at the love. Love on the cross, the sunrise. So he completed his 120-year return in 33 years. How could he do it? This is only half of this. This is only 33 years. Okay? This is only 33. So the story is about how the sun came from the winter to the spring. When you're in winter, it's very cold for human life. So it is a symbolic of how you come from death to life, how you come from the cold to the spring, how you come from nothing to something. The most dangerous thing for our ancestors was night and cold. That was the real fear, was night and cold. But when the sun rose, you could see things, you have your peripheral, you was able to do your thing. You understood that life was about to present itself here, right? Because the spring is going to be what? New things, investments, seeds, food. Can't do nothing in the winter. You can do everything though in the spring. But it's showing you the sunrise, okay? And we can show you where you at to see exactly what you're doing. Okay? Petna Evelyn said, thank you, brother. Yes, we appreciate you. You learn some new daily. Wow. Yes, that's all we're trying to get you to understand is the symbology behind all of the stuff that we're talking about. But everything is about you. Somebody put that in the chat. Everything is about me. All the books and all the stuff you're reading is all about you. Can't you see how fascinating you are? Everything is about you. Somebody put that in the chat. Everything is about me. Whatever book you're reading, whatever you believe in, it's really all about you. That's how special you are. It said, whosoever believeth in me shall not perish but have everlasting life. But this is what it first said. For God so loved the world. That means that you ain't got to love him back. This ain't about you loving God. You already got something, but you're trying to give something without recognizing what you already have. Somebody gave you something without you having to do no reciprocity. You up here trying to love God. But it ain't about your stuff. It's about God's love. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, the ecliptic son. This is the son's ecliptic. That whosoever believes in the son, you won't perish if you understand seasons, cycles, rhythm, and timing. Those four things. If you understand that the sun is going to have some seasons, it creates the seasons. If you understand the sun is going to create the cycles, if you understand the sun comes and goes in a rhythm, if you understand that the sun creates the timing, if you believe in this particular dynamic in which we're teaching you, you will have, that's the 120 writer's perspective. If you follow the sun's path, you have everlasting life. If you know what spring means, when the sun come out, you do what the spring says do to you. Do y'all know what spring says do? Invest in yourself. If you do what summer say do when summer come, what does sun say in summer? Flourish. It's time for you to be able to get out here and do your thing. When this plant is planted in the spring, it's just starting, but in the summer, it's flourishing. The rose came out, it's beautiful, it's showing this, it's showing this, ooh, it's showing this beauty, it's showing this wonder. That's what you do in the summer. Do you know what fall means? That's when things are going to leave to go back into replenishment. Okay, so the fall is going to be what? Packing things up, harvesting. So when the sun is in the fall, that means harvest. When the sun is in winter, that means replenish. So if you follow these paths, then you just got to know where you at. Okay, spring, I'm going to invest in myself. That means in your 401k, in your taxes, in your self-development, or whatever you want to do, spring means invest. Summer, I'm going to flourish. Fall, I'm reaping. Winter is conservation. I'm conserving. This is an outward journey. This is an inward journey. So here, if I'm in spring and summer, I'm investing and flourishing in my outward journey, meaning my physical self, my material self, my physical self, my body, my house, my home, my money, my whatever it is, right? You're planting these seeds to get your life going in that direction. But in the winter time of life, okay, you got to be reaping and conserving. This just doesn't happen in a lifetime. This is also happening throughout the day. Remember that this is 6 a.m. This is 12 p.m. Okay, so the spring of the day is from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. Somebody put that in the chat. The spring of the day is from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. The summer of the day is from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. The fall of the day is from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. That's why you want to fall asleep. Libra is in fall. That's why you fall in love. Come on, somebody. The winter of your day is from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. This is the time where you should be conserving, aka sleeping. Replenishing, rejuvenating. So you do this on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a yearly basis, and I'm trying to show you how to do it on a lifetime basis. Following the Son of God. Learning how to decode what the sun is saying to you in nature is just as important as learning how to decode what your symptoms are saying in your body. And when you're able to start decoding what the nature is saying to you, and you understand how to decode what your body is saying to you, now you are a discerning being. And uncertainty ain't nothing to you. And you don't have to control uncertainty with certainty. You control uncertainty with regulation. You don't have to control not knowing with knowing. You control not knowing with not even needing to know. With being okay. It's okay because I understand I can get the knowing from what? My body. And the earth represents the body. So I can get the knowing from my body and from earth, from sun, from just being outside. You were built for outside, not for inside. And so you watching that clock is different from watching the sun. See, you putting yourself on age when it comes to a clock on the wall is different than putting yourself on age that comes from the natural progression of your life. Some of you are old way before you got to 59. Some of you got young way before you got to 5 years old. Some of you are young at 70, and some of you are old at 30. So we're not talking about the clock on the wall. You're built for outside. You're getting indoor diseases. Okay? You're getting indoor diseases. So I'm old at 79 on the outside. No, you're not. If you're supposed to be 120 years old, how old is 79? What percentage of 120 is 79? Let's just say 80. I don't want to put an age on it, but I just want to make the math a little easier. What percentage of 80 is 120 out of 120? Right? So if I had to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, right? If I had to do that, then how much is 8 out of 120? Around about 70, 75%. So you still got a lot more life to go through. I'm gonna say it's probably about if every one of them is 20%, let's say everything is 20%, right? So 2 times, so it'd be 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, right? So everything is what, about 33? So 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, you're looking at about 65 to 70 some percent. You still got a lot of life to live if you're talking about 120. If you're talking about 75 years old, you're gonna think that you already did enough and been enough, and that's it for you. But it ain't. You still got more life. And when you change your perspective about what we're talking about, you get more rejuvenation, more energy to see that you still got a lot more life to live. We shouldn't be leaving here so soon. And we shouldn't be thinking that we're gonna leave here so soon. It's a goal each day is potential for possibility. But you don't want possibility though, Empower. You want stability. Okay? You want stability, right? That's what we want. We want stability. So you're going through these phases every day, right? So right now, and because the sun is in Gemini, what are you doing right now? Because the sun is in Gemini right now, what when you're looking at Gemini, is it in the spring, the summer, the fall, or the winter? Anybody know? Right now, the sun is in Gemini on the East Coast. It's from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Yes, that's correct, Andrea. That's correct, Everfound. That's correct, Writer's Perspective. That's correct, Manny. Okay, Gemini is in the spring. That's correct, Tasha. So I just told you that spring means invest. That's why you're watching. That's why you're watching me. I'm investing in you, and you're investing in yourself. That's what we're doing. You're investing in yourself by watching this program. That's investing in you. So I'm investing in you and you investing in me, but you're also investing in yourself. We all doing it at the same time. What say you guys? Y'all got any questions? Let me know. Thank you guys for the 63,000 likes. We got about 33 more minutes left. Please keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Let's get us up to 100K. Any questions thus far about why the owner's manual is perfect, why uncertainty can be understood in a different way? We know that people are stricken with this uncertainty, but it's also why a lot of our things are not working. You can't make good decisions with your back against the wall. Okay? You got to be able to come out of that fear. You got to be able to put your hands up and regulate yourself. Somebody says, so out of rhythm. Yeah, I know, because we don't know this information, but we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Thank you, H-Town. We appreciate you. We're getting there. excuse me, now I realize that everyone has uncertainty. Oh yeah, it's been like that. There's not one person on the planet that don't have uncertainty. Money doesn't create certainty. Money is a control mechanism for uncertainty, but it doesn't eliminate it. That's why rich folks try to get more money. Poor folks try to get more money. That's the only that there is no difference between a rich man and a poor man. They both want more money. And you say, well, why is a person that's rich looking for more money? They got the money. Uncertainty. It just seemed more profound on the poor person, but you got to look at the rich person and you'll see it's also profound in their life as well. I don't have to feel like the only one. No, you don't. I want you to feel like you are part of the collective because that's what you are. You are part of the collective. And that's really ever found you said something there, but that's really what I'm trying to divulge is you know how many people think they're the only ones in their depressive state, in their anxiety, in their cancer, in their dialysis, in their high blood pressure, in their diabetes, in their singleness of life, in what they've been through, in their jail cell, in their drug house, in their communities on the school bus, in their college classroom. You know how many folks feel like they the only one going through because nobody understands what I'm going through. If you open up your mouth and if you open up your mind, you'll see that you ain't went through nothing nobody else can't understand. We all understand uncertainty. Uh-huh. And what I'm trying to do is open up this room for people to be able to know that we understand the biggest thing that creates suicide and homicide is feeling like nobody understands you. We got to get rid of that. Y'all parents are growing up acting like you ain't never been a child. You just can't understand why that boy doing all of this stuff. I can't understand why she out here like that. I didn't raise her like that. I can't understand that if you believe in Jesus, why you would do something like that. I can't understand why you ain't going to church and why you ain't. I can't understand why you went over there and did that and done that. I can't understand why you don't know. I can't understand why he shot them. I can't understand why you raped her. I can't understand why you did this and did that. You can understand. Uncertainty will put you in a place. And if we understood more, we can heal faster together. If you understood more, you could heal your family faster. You could heal your daughter if you understood. You could heal your son of that little sexual thing. I don't know why he out here acting funny. If you understand them, see, love is the thing that is the medicine for all things. Showing somebody some love. Now, this is the question I'm going to ask you guys. Does the sun burn you just because you gay? Does the sun not shine on a murderer, a rapist? Does the air stop for somebody who's done something egregious to you? So nature is not judging. Because nature understands. How can you differentiate your children? You got a white son, a Latin son, a black son, and an Asian son. They all your children. They can fuss and they gonna fight. You the parent. What you gonna do? You gonna kill the white son for what he did to the black son? And they both your children? You gonna kill the black son for what he did to the Asian son? When they both your children, what are you gonna do? What's the punishment when they are your children? That's love. That's the community of humanity. That's what we're here to understand. Love is the true medicine. Somebody said, good points you're making. Thank you, Anthony. I'm just trying to tell you, man, love is the medicine. I told you he went from the root and stopped right here at love and died on the cross out of the love. The cross is right here, the equinox. He went from the root to the love and died on the cross in the center, love. That's the sun, the equinox. Okay? That's the symbology. So love is the medicine. So we put love in our herbs, we put love in our products, we put love in our words, we put love in our delivery, we put words in our meditations, we put love in everything that we'll bring into you guys. So it could be the best product that you could ever get, the best services that you can ever have. But that love ain't always gonna be kind. Kind don't mean love. Okay? Because a lot of you guys need to be told about yourself. Because we put up roadblocks and stumbling blocks so people can't really get to know who we are. Remember, we lied to the pastor, we lied to the therapist, the doctor, we lied to our children, our spouse, we lied to our boss man at work. So you got to get past the lies that a person will tell you because they don't really want you to know what they're doing in the dark spaces, the private parts of their life. But your diseases will tell on you. So it's very difficult for you to lie to me because I ain't getting nothing but your birthday. And I'm exposing what's going on with you based on your birthday, based on your diseases. So it's very hard for you to lie. Very hard. Okay? Very hard. Very hard. Oh, but she made that pretty fine, man. Appreciate you. Very hard. Any questions? Love the new commandment I give to you that love one another. Yes, yes. Love that seasons and time analogy. Yeah, appreciate it. So disease like RA are because of hidden secrets. Yes, not hidden secrets, but a hidden emotion. Rheumatic golfer, a hidden emotion, right? So the biological side of any kind of autoimmune disease, not just your rheumatoid arthritis, but any kind. So we can be talking to people dealing with fibromyalgia, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, multiple sclerosis. It all really starts in the digestive system. Okay. So a lot of people with autoimmune diseases have a spout with constipation or diarrhea at some point, and that really starts to mess with the cellular. Remember, your immune system, 80% of it is in the digestive system. So when we start getting this constipatory issues or this diuretic or diarrhea issues, that starts to open the door for what? Things leaking in the blood. They call it leaky gut, but I call it gut permeability. Okay. So now you get constipated and the food is sitting into the stomach. Now it gets into the blood. Then it starts to change the dynamic in which the cells operate, which means that cells start to not be able to recognize your own bodily functions and start to attack your muscles and bones and ligaments and tissues, et cetera, et cetera. So the biggest thing that you'll see with autoimmune disease issues is digestive problems, leaky gut, gut permeability, constipation, and diarrhea. That going to lead to the other stuff. That's biological. Now, psychological, because that's what you're asking me, that is going to deal with sadness and depression and your ability to handle grief. And you'll find that a lot of people dealing with autoimmune diseases, the majority of the people dealing with autoimmune diseases, have a hard time with grief, have a hard time with depression, and have a hard time with sadness, and they live a lot in their past. So they're constantly thinking about things they should have done, could have done, would have done. That's the psychological part. So I gave you the biological, and I just gave you the psychological. Okay? So now you understand this grief, depression, and sadness, constantly living in the past, living in power now. You got that? I'm sorry, that was rheumatic golfer. They said, wow, there you go. So that's what you look at. No, my pleasure, man. My pleasure. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to answer you guys' questions. I want to give you the psychological and the physiological breakdown. I used to break out in hives from overstimulation. Yeah, man, when that thing get to going, that skin get to, because you got to think about it. Your skin is always going to act as a filter as well. Your skin is a filter as well, right? So you got to see that sometimes when nothing else works, it comes out in the skin. Okay, you get eczema, you get all this type of stuff, and a lot of that stuff when you're dealing with the skin, that's going to be your emotional stuff, right? So you go through a lot of these emotional things. You get to losing hair, you get to breaking out in bumps and boils and acnes and hives and everything. But it comes, skin problems come from an emotional problem psychologically. Okay. But physiologically, it's the lymphatic system. It can't flow. It can't do what it needs to do. So therefore, it uses the skin to try to release some of the lymphatic fluid, because your lymph just don't have a pump. You don't really have a pump for lymphatic fluid. That's why we always tell people to move or do your heel lifts, right? Your toe lifts, and get that calf muscle to pumping. Your calf muscle pumping is a lot like the heart. And when you got that calf muscle pumping, this is why they put you on trampolines and they tell you to do jumping jacks and all of that. But really, it's about the calf muscle pumping starts to help the lymph move. Okay, and when that lymph move, you get the urge to pee, and you'll pee out more of that lymph through your urinary system. Okay, but if you ain't doing that, and you clogging up your pores, and you're not allowing the skin to help you with this, and you ain't doing no toe lifts and all this type of stuff, where the lymph gonna go? Through your skin. Emotions, recirculation, and blood sugar issues. If you're dealing with circulatory and blood sugar issues living in power, then yes, that's going to be because of some, circulatory issues belong to addictions. Okay, having an addictive behavior. It could be to stuff you like to do. It don't have to necessarily be drugs, but whatever it is that you like to do, you do it all the time. Okay, that can cause circulatory issues. Blood sugar comes from self-control. So now you got addictive behavior and you have a problem with self-control that can cause circulatory issues and blood sugar issues. Okay, living in power. They said, well, I'm addicted to sugar. There you go. Now we know sugar gonna cause high blood sugar, and you also got an addictive behavior. So you prone to that. But you were prone to that way before you got this problem. All we got to do is do whatever your owner's manual is. It sounds like you might got your owner's manual, but if you don't, you already had that tendency. You just didn't know, so you ran right into the traffic of life that triggered you because you don't know your tendencies. Yeah, I figured you got yours, so that's what it is. You got to be able to handle your addictive behavior. It's in my family too. Nah, it's just in you. But maybe some people in your family got the same issue psychologically. The hereditary stuff comes through psychological, not through physiological. Okay, so you don't pass down high blood pressure and high blood sugar, but you do pass down the lifestyle, you pass down the behavior. That comes from a psychological side of life, not the physiological. Okay? So you got passed down through the psychological side. That's what's hereditary. So you were drinking Kool-Aid all the time, and or they were fixing Kool-Aid, and that's what you like. They were fixing cakes, and that's what you like. And then you start to get addicted to those things. I'm very active daily, but neuropathy has crept above my knees so bad my feet feel like cement. Okay, so we already know what neuropathy is, right? Nerves. Okay, who handles the nervous system? Aries. Aries is a part of the fire element. So you just the same as everybody else ever found. You have an addictive behavior and you got self-control issues from the physiological side. Okay? From the physiological side, any kind of nerve issues is going to lead to addictive behavior and self-control issues. Okay? Thyroid issues. Oh, I hate dealing with my thyroid people because y'all hate to receive this, okay? But we're gonna give it to you, Mirror Cannon. All right. Mirror Cannon, if you're dealing with thyroid issues or anybody, you have a doubt and trust issue. You can be somewhat of a liar, but you hate people lying to you. Okay? Let's give you thyroid issues. Doubt and trust, being a conspiracist, that everybody's against you, everybody don't want to see you. So you hate people lying to you, but you can be somewhat of a liar yourself. That's going to give you thyroid issues, your inability to communicate properly, get your word out, do all the stuff that you want to be able to talk about and really be able to move your creativity with your voice. If your voice is suppressed, that'll also give you thyroid issues. Angela Angela said, wow. Every fan said, all right, I'm just trying to get y'all to see your diseases are telling you. But a lot of people that don't like that lies and stuff, but we all lie. But some people got more problems with it than most. Okay. Lying can affect more people than what you think. Okay. Also, a person with thyroid issues, obviously, you're going to have problems with your weight. All right. You can fluctuate up and down depending on if it's hypo, hyper. But your diseases will tell on you. Anybody else? Sleep paralysis is same thing, okay? Addictive behavior. Remember, the pineal gland is the one that's controlling your sleep. The pineal is up here in number 9. That's a part of the fire element, okay? So having an addictive behavior, whoever that is, thank you for your purchase. But having an addictive behavior and self-control issues is going to deal with sleep, okay? Enlightening, I was farmed out all over to relatives' homes from 5 to 14 years old. Mom was too poor. Okay. Do you have a book? No, I have a school. Okay. You want to join the school? You can join the school. It's $1,000 for a year class, or you can do $100 a month, rheumatic golfer. Okay. Now, if you want the book on you, I got the book on you. That's the owner's manual. Somebody just probably purchased that. I don't know who that was. Shouts out to Miss Young. Okay. Shouts out to Miss Young. All right. Shouts out to Miss Young for making a purchase. We appreciate your love. All right. But yeah, we got the book on you, rheumatic golfer. So if you want your own owner's manual, it's a probably 7 to 10 page soliloquy on who you are. All we need is your birthday. I have sleep apnea, but I do not use a machine. Same thing. Addictive behavior, self-control issues, providing some bread to the first. I don't know why y'all keep coming on here, man. Don't nobody want your bread or your money, Robert Lawson. That they don't even let you, they don't even show that. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but they don't never show your comment, brother. I could never speak up about it, how sad I was out of my childhood. did at 65, yeah, there you go. And you start to release. You start to release. Be free. That's how you do these things. I release my addictive behavior. I release my self-control issues. I release that guilt and unforgiveness. I'm gonna release that stress and worryation. I'm gonna release this grief and depression. I'm gonna release this delusion and sense of loneliness. Some of us are delusional, okay? And we just can't face reality of what's going on in our lives. Okay? That comes back to haunt you. You'll see that then you'll start getting glaucoma. You'll start getting cataracts. You'll start having to wear glasses. How did my vision go? Because your vision spiritually left. Your perspective got cloudy spiritually. And it turns into a literal physiological issue. That's why we're trying to teach you this stuff. I'm grateful and hopeful about the blueprint from you. Thanks for creating it. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, God did it. God did it. That's all we can do. I take no credit. I'm reintroducing this to you guys. This is old. This is the way we used to do this thing back in the day. I just need to know when you was born. Can't y'all see what I've been talking about with Jesus? They just need to know when he was born. They just needed to know. They knew something was coming. They knew a Messiah was coming, but it all happened from a birthday. And it'll all happen for you the same way. Your birthday, you coming into this paradigm. What did they do to find Jesus? They followed the stars. They followed the stars. They followed nature to know, but they knew the birthday. They just didn't know the location, where he at. But they knew when. And when was when the star was the brightest in the sky. That's all. That's all. It's the oldest system on the planet. It's the oldest system on the planet, and a lot of folks don't know this system. And they're using it, they're bastardizing it, and it's also been taboo. But when you bring it back to holistic wellness, oh, it becomes one of the most tremendous tools ever created on the planet. Yes, wisdom in the symptoms. Yes. Interesting how the wisdom is in the systems. Yes. When is the last day to enroll in school? March the 31st. So you guys got about roughly 8 more days. Okay. Sherry, if you want your reading, get your owner's manual. Destiny in Bloom. Destiny in Bloom. Yeah, we appreciate you. Anybody else? Before we get up out of here, man, we got about 9 more minutes. I was trying to get you guys up here to 100K. Darn, I'm late today. Come on, real motivation. You know better than that now. You know better than that now. School is Saturday and Sunday every other week. Yes, it's Saturday and Sunday every other week from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be on Zoom, you guys. It will be recorded. So if you don't get there, you can still get your work. At the end of the day, you're going to be able to know how to do this for yourself, for your family, and for your community. Then you'll know what herbs they need. You'll know how to get the right foods they need. You'll know how to do the right emotional releases. You'll know how to do the right nature-based interventions. You'll know the right spiritual tendencies and physical tendencies of your little children, of your husband, of your mama. You better do it on everybody. Y'all can just go ham. Just give me birthday. Give me your birthday, y'all. I got so much in him, man. Give me your birthday. Give me your birthday. That's all I need. Ain't that crazy, man? Ain't that a blessing? All you need is their birthday. When did you come into the paradigm? When did you cross over the equinox? Remember, Jesus came here and standing right here, right? So you came from water to air, but you crossed over at the same spot, the crossroads, the cross. The cross is when you came out of the canal. You got stamped with a date. When you came out of your canal, you got stamped with a date. So we do the 3-in-1, not the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, but the 3-in-1 is going to be your birthday, your model number. Okay. And And what else we use? Your life path number. How you set your boundaries. I know your phone will be ringing off the hook. Yeah, so you can call me between 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when I'm available for phone calls. So that's why I be having to get off of here at 12. Look like somebody else just purchased something. We appreciate you guys for your love, right? Love is in everything that we do. Some of you guys do have some deep-rooted stuff, so you got to watch out for that stuff you may have to do. What about arthritis in the hands? Okay, so anybody dealing with arthritis, you're going to be here. Okay, the earth element. Okay, the earth element, right? So the earth element is all about security, safety, and survival. Okay, so what that lets me know is that you're dealing with a lot of stress and anxiety for you having to do what you got to do. Okay. But what is arthritis telling you if it's in your hands? You need to relax. You got to chill for a minute. Okay. Because what's happening is you done been doing all of this stuff for so long that you done got tissue and you done got cartilage and all this stuff is just wear and tearing. So if you don't rest and allow this stuff to recuperate, allow your body to recuperate, you're in that earth element, right? So there's something going on in your life where you're still having to deal with the stress of safety and security. And you're running your body down. Listen to it. The arthritis is telling you something. Now, I know it might be hard for y'all because you got life to live. But arthritis is telling you to relax. You need to retreat, go on a vacation, chill out for a minute. Get this stuff situated so you don't have to do nothing and allow your body to recuperate. Okay? But the joints, yeah, that's going to be Capricornish. That's the earth element. Joint swelling, edema. What does stroke and dementia means? Addiction, self-control. It's the nervous system. Okay? Stroke and dementia. Addictive behavior, self-control issues. Any bone issue, joint issues is going to simply mean, oh, I'm sorry, I got to get back in my YouTube. Would you explain about how to create the healers in the body? Would you explain how to create the healers in the body? I'm trying to figure out what you're actually asking there, Aunt. Okay, I get it. Been using 432 hertz bell to calm down more. It won't happen with an outside noise, Mirror Cannon. You got to use your own voice. So you got to hum. Your internal voice is better than outsourcing the tone. When you hum, it automatically sends a signal to relax. When you try to do it outside, depending on the 432 hertz, you're trying to listening to it through social media, the YouTube, all these mediums dumb down or differentiates the frequency. If you understand what I'm saying, right? So you got to see how that hertz is being transmitted. Sometimes when they upload it on YouTube, it's not pure. You see what I'm saying? It's not as loud or as low as it need to be. So it's not 432 coming through an external source. You get what I'm saying? It's just like if you turn me up right now, turn me down right now, you're going to differentiate how I really sound in this room by myself. How I sound in this room by myself, depending on how your YouTube and how your frequencies are, it changes what I'm saying to you. It's not going to be as clear as you think. There's going to be some distortion because we're using other mediums to listen to it. That makes sense? So then do your hum. And you don't need 432 hertz. You need 7.8 hertz. That comes through your humming. That's the sound of nature. You don't need 432. You don't need 5, whatever. You don't need 9. You don't need 1,000. You just need to get to 7.8. That's transitioning you from beta to alpha to gamma. or alpha to beta to gamma, however you want to say it. But that's 7.8 hertz. So y'all going so high when you need to go low. And your hum is going to be that low. How to activate the self-healer chemicals of the body to self-heal. Yeah, so that's what we're talking about right now. So humming is going to do it. Remember? And so what are those healers, right? Let's go there. Oxytocin, endorphins. What else we got? Dopamine. You don't need a whole lot of that. Serotonin. Okay. GABA, right? These are things that you can produce your own. So again, having peace in your life, having love in your life, right? Experiencing touch, hugging. Okay, this is where you start to get that oxytocin going. Dancing, all right, movement. That's where you get your endorphins going. That's why you can wake up with back pain, but after about 5 or 10 minutes, the back pain gone. Why? Because you're moving. Okay, so movement creates your painkiller, which is an endorphin. Singing, humming, all this type of stuff is gonna create the serotonin. You see? So those are your healers, and that's all you really got to do. Hum, movement, laughter, and then the last one is going to be touch, human touch. Human touch. That's what you're talking about, Anthony? Like grandmama humming on the front porch. Yeah, see, grandmama regulated grandmama. You know what I'm saying? Grandmama's out there being regulated. Or when you're talking about us picking cotton and all this stuff that we were doing, how do we get through that? Mm, 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 I feel like going on. Yes, sir. They had to hum their way through it. Can we make words out through hums? You don't need to. You don't need to try to sing. You don't need to try to do nothing but how you came in. Huh? Thank you for your wealth of knowledge. Yes, appreciate it. You guys, it is 12 o'clock. I thank you guys also for the 100K. If there is no other, yes, sir, Manissa, gotta have them 5 heartbeats. Gotta have that 5 heartbeats. You know, 5 heartbeats is probably the top movie of all time for Black folk. I know we got Juice, and I know we got Minute to Society, we got Friday, but I'm gonna put 5 heartbeats #1. And Friday #2. I don't know about y'all, but and then I put it like this. I'm gonna put 5 heartbeats #1, Color Purple #2, and then we'll put Friday #3. Then the top 3 all-time Black movies on the planet. Okay. I love you guys, man, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Until next time. Love HerbMan. Peace, 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 peace. Love you guys, man. Email me. Do whatever you got to do to get the information that you need, so we can help you. Peace. 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 Peace.